Hey guys, welcome to FIAWG. So this week we're going to update you on MH370. We are going to have some breastfeeding conversation with our, we've got some guests there.
Sorry.
Yeah, I go to the dentist. What else, Kevin? What else did we talk about this week?
I'm just finding my peaceful place. I just had a lot of energy then.
On,
this week we also talk about the Black KKK Affiliation, what happened there, what is beneath the hood. There's a gun who single-handedly stops some mass shootings in the States.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that.
Some guys like fucking old ladies. More to come.
Yep. Watch this space.
Said.
I review a movie. This week it's Alice in Wonderland related, and also Starbucks are doing some good in the society, which we'd like to highlight.
And there's something in Dumb and Dusted, which we're glad isn't around anymore, but you'll just have to stay tuned to find out what that is, or look at the kind of description in the video. But it's Sundials.
Stay tuned.
Dusted. Stay tuned.
Pull over.
Man, these shows all suck.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
We could do better than this. Hey, let's do it.
Hey, welcome to FIAWG.
Welcome to FIAWG. Oh, sorry, I was stuck in a loop there.
It's a good gag. Kevin.
Thanks for tuning in.
Oh well, I wish I knew about that gag in advance, so I could have participated.
Hours of preparation
in something
just for that
so funny.
Zinger.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but yeah, welcome. I'm Matt Orchard.
And I'm Kevin Drewberg. This is episode 16.
Yeah, come right back at you.
Yep.
Most
people said maybe 10 episodes. They're pushing for 15. We actually made 16 episodes plus.
So the doubters, the haters, they're all trembling in their boots right now.
They're well behind us. We're far. And speaking of behind us, just not to throw anyone off so early, but let's just explain what's going on behind here.
Oh, that's good water.
Is that just water?
Yeah, it's just water. But I also like milk.
What kind of milk?
Just from a cow. But some babies like it from the breast of a mother, and some mothers, when they're breastfeeding, they like to post those pictures on Facebook.
Yeah, and now it's all right.
And yeah, Facebook says it's fine, and we stand by that decision. It's totally natural. So to support breastfeeding mothers and women's rights, we had a rather giant mother and a rather giant baby come into the studio so they can breastfeed
live
behind us for the duration of it. But they promised to kind of hold the pose so it's not too distracting. Hey, don't move.
Stop making those sucking sounds.
Yeah, fucking baby.
Babies, they're hard to work with.
Yeah, but thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks, yeah.
Appreciate it. Cheers.
So while the little baby is being hydrated in the background, we're going to bring to you the topics of the week.
Do you want to talk about is there anything to talk about with the Facebook thing, really?
Nah.
I guess breastfeeding wasn't okay, but now it is.
I think what it was before was any time there was a breast on Facebook, it automatically gets screened out.
Right.
And now they've got like monkeys
like
or whatever.
Babies, they've changed it so it's like, no, the baby's face is in proximity to the breast. Fine.
I've seen
technology.
I've seen a few things where like ladies would be in a bathtub and their elbows would be placed where the breast would be, and the technology thought it was a breast, so it blocks it out.
Okay.
Stuff like that. I think now maybe they're going to like manual approving process or whatever. But if you're either a breastfeeding mother or you're a baby being breastfed, feel free to post.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Just keep it off my wall.
You can put it on mine. I've got some breastfeeding mothers who show up on mine. I don't block them.
You post a few photos yourself.
Not of me breastfeeding, but I post photos sometimes. I'm not much of a photo poster actually on Facebook. Anyway, this is boring. Let's go on. Before we get into anything else this week, we do have
why everybody's tuned in.
Yeah, we cover different news stories every week, but there's one news story that we keep coming back to with our ongoing coverage.
And that is the disappearance and the search for the missing flight MH370.
Yeah, went missing back in February or March.
Long time ago.
Yep, and there's an ongoing search.
16 weeks ago because it was episode 1.
Yeah, and so every week we bring you updates and our ongoing coverage.
Yes.
So this week the flight of the MH370.
Yep.
Should I go?
Yeah, please.
All right. They still haven't found it. Essentially, it's still missing. Yeah.
So, no updates.
All right. Sorry.
Let's assume they're getting closer every week to finding it, but still haven't found it.
Yeah, I still haven't found it. But
there you go.
We'll keep you appraised.
You know what I have found? The Dumb and Dumber 2 trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I found it online.
Okay, good work.
I watched it.
Yeah?
That's the best segue for comedy. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
So Jim Carrey and who's the other dude? Just the other dude. Jeff Daniels are back with a sequel 15 plus years later.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. How did you find the trailer?
I mean, I was...
You typed it into a search engine and found it?
Yeah. The thing I don't like is when, like, a sequel for a trailer for a sequel comes out, inevitably people are like, oh, I don't know if it's going to be as good as the first one. Then the movie comes out, people go, oh, it wasn't as good as the first one. Like, look, The Godfather 2, Terminator 2, I think those are the only sequels off the top of my head that are better than the first ones. Like, sequels aren't really supposed to be as good or better, they're just supposed to be worthy. And it looked like it was going to be worthy.
Yep.
The gags seem pretty funny. I like the fact that they didn't make a sequel like 2 or 3 years later, or even like 1 year later.
Exactly.
Just cashing in.
Exactly.
They, it's more dynamic when you revisit the characters 10, 20 years later, and I think it is borderline on 20 years.
Yeah, right.
So that's cool. It's like, yeah, you get to see what happened to, was it Harry and...
I don't remember their names.
Harry and... One of them has a weird name, like... But whatever, I think it's... The Dumb and the Dumber, you get to visit them later in life, which kind of adds something to it.
And it adds that aspect as well, the real life coming in, because it literally is that far apart. And I think Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels don't need to make that movie. Like, people weren't waiting for it. They're not going to, like, cash in big on it. They just made it because, like, they wanted to make another movie.
I'm sure they'll get a decent paycheck, let's be fair.
Yeah, but Jim Carrey doesn't need the money.
No, he's pretty rich. Did you, are you a fan of Kick-Ass?
Yeah. I've watched it. Would watch it again.
Did you watch number 2?
No.
Okay. That was an example of one where people were complaining, but I was like, oh yeah, it wasn't as good as the first one, but it had its own thing going on, and it was worthy. Yeah. I probably disliked it. I liked it less after time. When I initially saw it, I was like, yeah, that was perfectly good, and then like a couple of days later, kind of reflecting on it, I'm like, there's a little to be desired maybe. But overall, I felt critics gave it a hard time. It was basically, overall, I think a worthy follow-up. Jim Carrey was in that. Yeah, right. Can I do a spoiler, actually? When this little guy comes up again, unmute if you, assuming you don't want Kick-Ass Room, you haven't seen it. That was one annoying thing. Like, he was on the posters, Colonel Stars and Stripes. Oh, wait, you haven't seen it?
I've seen it. Yeah, you, of course.
He dies, like, really early.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's not on it for much, and he doesn't actually serve that much to the plot. Like, they build him up as like, okay, here's a new character, and then it's like, yeah, he just dies.
Like Psycho.
Oh yeah, because they do kill
and that's
the
thing,
protagonist woman quite early.
Yeah, and that's why like they splashed all over the posters, so people are like, oh, let's, and then all of a sudden, like, it's a shock. It's like, oh, so maybe it was the same
first half hour or first 20 minutes? Or?
Definitely the first half hour.
Yeah, okay. First half an hour or first half of the movie?
First half of the movie, maybe, I don't know. She dies well at the start of the movie.
Okay.
But maybe that's why, or maybe they're just, the marketing department will like, let's cash in on Jim Carrey's name.
Yeah. Alright, well, let's spoilers for both Kick-Ass and
Psycho. If anyone hasn't seen it, planning on
squeezed it in.
Something else that I found on that related topic is Jim Carrey's commencement speech that he gave at one of the premier universities or whatever in the States.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 26 minutes, look it up on YouTube or whatever. Jim Carrey's commencement speech is very enlightening.
He's Canadian though. Should he really be giving American commencement speeches?
He's a comedian. Should he? No, but it's very. It has its comedical moments.
FIAWG gave one.
So, yeah, I thought that as well.
There wasn't very much inspiration in that. It was just kind of funny. Gave you.
Yeah. Cool
on them for doing it though, because like they're usually really serious commencement speeches, like with maybe a bit of funniness in there, but.
the way to inspire somebody is to get somebody that you respect and then get them in their right element. So if it's a comedian, you need jokes.
Yeah.
So check that out. And Dumb and Dumber 2, I'll be waiting for that. There is one gag at the end of that, the end of the trailer, Dumb and Dumber 2, which is a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, is this the old lady one?
Yeah.
So this is going to segue to the... I don't even know if I want to bring this up now, but we may have written it down as a topic. We may as well talk about it. So, Kevin's talking about a segment where he touches an old lady's vagina.
Not me, but part of that.
You're talking about a segment where he in the thing. So, there was like a tabloid story this week about a 31-year-old dude. I think his name was Kyle Jones. I think that's right. Anyway, 32 or 31-year-old gentleman who is into older women. I don't mean like 40-year-olds. I mean like 60 to 90 plus.
Like he's literally into them.
Yes, literally in them.
And this is tabloid news.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's definition of tabloid news.
This is true.
So it's like a human interest story about it. And my
interest is
it's it's fairly PG, I guess. It involves some like really deep mouth kissing with like a 90-year-old, so you're kind of like oof. But interviews with him, and it's more like he's got like kind of a dating life, like he's seeing several other women. By the way, crack the code. If you want to see several other women, then be cool. Then fucking choose 60-year-olds. Be like, sweet, this fucking young guy. Like,
there you go.
Sweet, you can see other ladies. I don't give a fuck.
So take home tip for you.
Yeah, Matt's hot tip that he's not going to implement. But anyway, I guess I googled it because I found it interesting.
You have to.
Yeah.
Research.
Yeah, like who is this guy? Turns out, like they underreported like how into like sharing he is because he's got a Twitter where like he's banging these old broads,
On Twitter.
Yeah, like full on up close penetration shots. And
really?
Everything like that.
Yikes.
So if you wanna Google, and why wouldn't you? Cougar Champion, that's his handle. I think actually I checked before it came on the other day and suspended, but maybe it's not suspended now. I don't know. So if you want to have some fun there, you can check that out. I guess I just thought of that because we're talking about the breasts. Thanks again, guys, for coming. So Facebook and Twitter obviously have very different policies because like Facebook's only just for breastfeeding, but Twitter's sweet with the old lady
whatever goes. Yeah.
And there's like it's not just that. Like, if you see like the porn stars, some of them have Twitters, and some of them got some really full on shit. On their feeds.
So the difference that I see is there's no settings on Facebook besides who can see your things, but Twitter you can set if you have sensitive material or whatever.
Yeah, right.
That people can choose to view it or not.
Right.
So I guess there's a kind of
that's a good way of doing it. For adults.
Yeah.
That way, like, if I don't want to see breastfeeding, that's cool. Like, I could be able to opt into that.
Exactly.
I don't care, but some people like are uncomfortable about it, and like it's very easy to go like, why are you so uncomfortable? You should man kids. It's like, okay, but they are. So why can't they just opt into not seeing?
I absolutely agree with that. But the issue that I have on that is, why would somebody want to post that on Facebook? Besides being like, fuck you, I can't do it, therefore I'm going to do it. There's no other reason why anybody would
that's
need to do that.
Decent reason though, because you kind of like, it's natural. You censoring it implies that you think it's dirty.
Yeah, I agree. I understand that.
Yeah, why are you saying that breastfeeding is dirty, kind of thing? That's the. But
then you don't win it by yeah.
Well, what if you're not necessarily like, hey, I'm breastfeeding. Let's take a picture. Like, let's say you're out, you're breastfeeding, and like someone takes a picture of you, like, hey,
Yeah, it's a nice
photo. My baby, it's a nice moment.
Or there's like a poltergeist in the background or something. You need to share that photo. I totally get that. But still, I don't think that's why many people are A, posting it, and B, feeling the need to express the fact that they have posted it and it's been banned, and so they like get all these issues. Like, yeah, that's that.
Okay.
But if you want to stay ahead of the curve on that, get on Twitter because there's apparently all sorts of bits of fun on there.
Yeah, that's right. And also, if you tune in and you like, I haven't seen a doodle recently. Look at, there you go. If you feel like there's not enough doodling in life, there's a different face.
One right there.
I've drawn, which I just thought I'd share that as bonus content for this week.
Yep. And you won't see Facebook censoring that out.
No.
So maybe you can even post it on Facebook.
Maybe I will. That's a good doodle.
Can you? I haven't even checked, but we haven't used our official Twitter for a while.
Oh yeah, we have been lazy about that. Should I send out a tweet?
Let's get a tweet pic of that.
How many followers do we have?
Maybe 6.
Maybe 6, possibly.
For I'm gonna say the first 11, 12 episodes, we tried to connect with the people.
Oh, I forgot about that segment. Is there anyone we could do a Twitter outreach for today? Anyone need support? We were going to have that in a regular segment, but it's pretty much gone. We should keep an eye out for that going forward, Kevin, so that if like someone does come up, we don't forget.
Who's I don't know. I can't think of any celebrity villains at the moment.
Celebrity villains. What about the people who are slaughtering people in Iraq? They probably don't have a Twitter.
They wouldn't have Twitter. Let's.
What?
If something comes up, it'll come up.
Yeah. Okay.
So as Matt picks this out, there is
talking about something else.
Yeah, there's no segue that I can make into this, but I thought this was worthy of our attention this week. I read an article about an African American male in America who's dark skinned in complexion, wearing a KKK outfit, and bum rushing into a town hall. Well, he didn't bum rush; he just walked in like a normal person.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, I'm black, I'm wearing a KKK,
like
KKK,
as you were.
Yeah, that's cool.
But apparently it's not cool. They like the main old dude in the wig's like, shh, get out of here.
Oh man, that sounds as if
just because of his threats.
It's a violation of his free speech, is it not?
Exactly right.
He can probably sue them.
Funny you should mention that. He actually did.
Really? Okay.
Yes. So this was situated in LA, and the dude has hired a guy called Michael Hunt, and we'll get back to that a bit later on.
Really?
Real. So Michael Hunt is
How old is Mike?
Not sure.
Okay, go
on. Let's not revisit that. Let me tell you a real quick joke. You ever heard of the Doug Anthony All Stars? So they're a comedy trio from Australia. Paul McDermott, Tim Ferguson, Richard Clyber. So for a while they're like in Melbourne just doing their comedy thing. These 3 guys. One of their jokes is he goes, I went to school with a young boy called Michael Hunt. We nicknamed him Fuckhead.
Yeah, that's good.
So Michael Hunt fought and won a case for this dude, and he's getting paid like a buku amount of money from LA.
Well, don't go violating people's First Amendment rights then. That's the moral of that story.
Exactly.
I don't know, why was he dressed in a KKK outfit?
It was obviously to make some kind of point, and to see what would happen, I guess. Yeah. Maybe to see if they would kick him out.
Right.
Maybe he had like on his back card was like, I'm going to do this, and when this happens, then we can like sue him. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's his game, I don't know.
Interesting. I mean, I guess some people can kind of abuse the law there, because I read that article really briefly, and they were saying that, I mean, First of all, again, my point is, like, you shouldn't be kicking people out, so it is your own damn fault that people are kind of going into a situation.
Yep, absolutely.
And that you're falling for it. But there was another couple of people who got kicked out of a meeting a while ago and sued, and they ended up being awarded $1 a piece by the jury. So the jury basically thought, yes, your rights are violated, but you were doing it on purpose to go them out, so we're not going to rule them too much. But it cost the council like $600,000 in legal fees, so they're incentivized to pay them out and settle these kind of frivolous.
Definitely, yeah.
So I'm not saying I'm a fan of the KKK guy, but again, it's a town hall meeting, shouldn't be kicking people out and stuff like that.
Exactly, especially when it's so explicit that says this amendment right says you can't do this, and then they just basically throw that out and just do the exact opposite.
Did I interrupt you, by the way? Sorry.
That's all I had.
You were okay?
I think.
I was going to say that joke about fuckhead. It's similar to another South Park gag. They get this new teacher called Miss Chokes on Dick. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, more like Mrs. Makes Me Sick.
Right.
South Park. Did we ever go a week without making a South Park reference?
I think so.
Maybe last week, but I actually got there's probably a reference in there somewhere.
For anyone that didn't catch the Michael Hunt joke, ask your younger nephew or son.
The reason I was asking how old he is, I guess, like, maybe maybe cunt wasn't like overly used when he was born. So and also maybe the name of Michael. Like sometimes you name a kid Michael just like expecting him to always be called Michael. You don't think about the shorthand. You just like name him after
that's true.
The name that you like. My parents had like there was a big thing about naming me because there were a bunch of names they quite liked but did not like short versions or like how they got my name.
Yep.
So a couple of ones were like Bobby was on the table, which I think would make a good Bobby. But, Bob's a boring name, so then inevitably people are going to start calling me Bob. So like, no, fuck that. And they liked Adam, which Adam I think again is quite a good looking name.
Yep.
But Adam Orchard had like Garden of Eden connotations to it.
Yeah, and also Prince Adam from He-Man, you kind of have a similar.
I don't know who. I don't know much He-Man. What does Prince Adam look like?
He's He-Man without the chest plate on.
Oh, okay, right. I got the wrong blonde here. Well, it's kind of reddish.
It's basically like this guy right here.
Yeah. Well, so there you go. Those that concludes the segment. What Matt could have been named?
No, but there should be some thought put into your kid's name. Thank you for just throwing crazy shit out there. But like you were saying, maybe that term wasn't used there. Like if he was born overseas, non-English speaking. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Michael Hunt is likely to be
Jamaican.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
In fact, what about European names, like French names? You're still named like, Christophe or something. Like, you don't need Michaels in France.
I've got another joke for you. If you're Jamaican in the kitchen, British in the bathroom, British in the bedroom, what are you in the bathroom?
No, right?
European.
Can I tell you, oh God, we should be swapping jokes probably, but just one more.
They entertain me, I don't care. Keep going.
This is, oh no, I shouldn't do this one because Norm MacDonald does it on YouTube and his version's going to be a little bit better than mine, but...
What a setup.
Okay, well, I guess I've set it up, so I may as well. So a moth walks into a podiatrist's office, or flies into a podiatrist's office, and the doctor's like, oh, good to see you, moth. What's going on? He's like, oh, doc, I don't know where to begin. I wake up every morning in this kind of morose mood, not even knowing where my life's going and where I've gone wrong. There's an old woman lying next to me. A woman I used to love, doc. But now when I look into her eyes, all I see is just, plain blank kind of slate staring back at me. There's no life in her anymore. There's no passion in our relationship. My oldest son, Hugo, is a mess, a drunk, and a gambling addict. He's 28 years old and he still hasn't left the house. And my youngest son, Nathan, I don't even know where to begin. That's the hardest pill to swallow, Doc, because I don't love him anymore. He's made all the wrong choices, and I don't know where I've gone wrong as a parent. I did my best, but I feel like I've pissed away not just my own life, but inadvertently all the lives around me, and even though I'm a moth, sometimes I feel like a spider, just, entangled in a web of my own making, hanging on for dear life, but feeling like I should let go and let myself fall into the abyss. I just don't know what to do, Doc, and the podiatrist, says, wow, that's some pretty heavy stuff there, Moth. You're a messed up dude, but, I'm a podiatrist. Why did you come to me? It sounds like you really need a shrink. Why did you come here? And the moth says, the light was on.
Yep.
Yeah?
Very good.
Good.
Yep.
Cool. I hope you enjoyed that at home. As I say, just Google moth joke and you can see Norm MacDonald do a much better delivery of that. But that's Matt's joke of the week. Will there be one next week? Probably not. But tune in. Should we?
Norm McDonald's, that the Australian dude?
No, he's an American. He's Canadian, actually. He's Canadian.
Oh,
yeah.
The cheese guy.
The cheese guy.
Cheers.
Cheers. No, there's a character called Norman Cheers. Not an actor.
Right.
Norm MacDonald's probably like a little bit younger than that. In that generation.
And he had the TV show Norm.
He did have a TV show.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I like that guy. He's got a good sense of humour.
And a good sort of delivery and
Totally.
sort of very unique persona, like very quirky.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unique mannerisms.
Good old Norm MacDonald. In fact, there's a campaign to get him to replace Craig Ferguson. And hashtag late Norm. And the cool thing about it actually is like, normally celebrities like, oh, no, never mind, like, it's really nice of you, but, that thing's take its course. I don't know if I'll be, but he's like, no, it's sweet, like, you want me to do the Late Show? I'll jump on, I'll campaign for this. He's like retweeting everyone's tweet, like, yeah, nominate me. Get me on the Late Show, I'll do it.
I'll totally,
I'd tune
vouch
in.
for him. Yeah.
I might prefer that to Colbert on the Late Show.
Hmm.
I'm really
And I said,
stoked about Colbert, though. I've been looking forward to that. So maybe not that far, but I don't know. He could be one of my favourite.
I said in a previous episode that I was behind Bob Saget for that spot.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice.
I would prefer Norm.
Okay, there you go. Late Norm.
Yep, I'm down for that.
Sweet.
There you go.
Shall we move on to another pre-arranged topic?
Yeah, speaking about doctors of some descripts, I've heard you had a story from your personal life that you'd like to share.
Yes, I went to the dentist, who are not doctors.
Are they not?
No.
Wow.
It is strange, isn't it? Because it's surgery. Oral surgery.
They go to medical school, don't they?
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know, like, I think you can't do dental and become a doctor. Like, you know how you can do law and become a doctor? You just need to take it to a PhD level. I don't think you can, at a certain point in dentistry, it's like, no, you're as good as you can be. You're as qualified as you can be. You don't get,
Well,
and you can't do a master's or a PhD in dentalology.
so there's no acknowledged experts in dentistry. It's just, yeah.
I guess there must be people who, like,
You got experience.
do
but-
some really great dental work and, like, deal with some fucked up shit, and, like, they become specialists and hired for certain things, but, like, yeah, you don't have, like, a higher form of education for
Yep,
dentistry.
exactly. You don't have more skill, you just got more experience.
And most of the stuff, I mean, to be fair, most of the stuff must be quite, like, is it a root canal? Is it a filling? Is it a cap? Is it a false tooth? Like, there's only so many things that
Yep, exactly.
you can do. Yeah, so I went to the dentist. I haven't been for 3 years, which is really bad, but Kevin tells me he hasn't been for, like,
Since I was
15.
less than that.
More.
Yeah.
You never had a toothache? You never
about
get dealt with?
When I was 15, I had braces, so I was in the orthodontist or whatever.
Yeah.
But dentist alone, teeth are great.
But you've never had a toothache. You need to go and get sorted out.
I've had cracked teeth.
And who did
That's
that?
it.
What did you do with that? You just left it.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Look at me now.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's for 3 years, and so I had toothache at the start of the year, and went and got it fixed in New Zealand, and she's like, okay, and when you get back in Australia, go and, like, get checked out, because chances are if that tooth's that bad, your mouth's probably good. So I went, and sure enough, it's going to be like 3 trips. I've got like a bunch of small fillings and a couple of really big ones, and I've got to be a cat for a previous root canal. I haven't been nice to my mouth, let's put it that way. So this week was the first one, the first visit, and we decided to get the 2 biggest fillings out of the way because they're the most urgent.
Yep.
And basically one thing that kind of made me think, I guess, I would say I want feedback, but barely anyone watches this show, so I don't know if we're going to get any feedback, but I just want to put it out into the ether. Kind of, I guess, a rhetorical question that isn't really rhetorical. I'd like to hear your feedback or your thoughts, but I know I probably won't get them, so just take it for what it is. While I was in, I'm not a baby or anything. Like, I'm not like, oh, stop, like, I don't need to be put under.
I'm like this guy.
Yeah. He's a baby.
Sorry, as you were.
But having said that, like, I don't like getting the injection, so when I was getting the injection, I was like, tense and kind of like, And while they were doing the drilling and everything, on several occasions they kind of stopped and went, you alright? Everything okay? But I wasn't like... there was one time where they had to put a clamp in where I was kind of like, a couple of times. But aside from that, the other times they checked, I was like, yeah, I'm okay. Like, you told me to raise my hand. I haven't raised my hand. Like, there was any pain. But, like, what I was like is that my feet were very tense and I was, probably shaking a little bit. Not like chronically so they couldn't do their work, but, like, visibly kind of nervous.
Yep.
Is that not normal? Like, who goes to the dentist and, like, has someone, like, drilling, make all these sounds and suction? Again, I know you need to do it, and I tough it up and I go, it's not pleasant, but okay, like, listen to the podcast, do your thing. Is there anyone, or, like, okay, I'm sure there's some people, but are the majority of people, like, not at all sort of showing signs of any anxiety while they're having dental work done? It just seems like a fairly normal and human reaction to getting conscious surgery.
Yeah, but I guess if you trust that the person knows what they're doing, then you have no other choice but just to submit to them and just go, do your job.
I mean, I guess I don't 110% trust, like I do in an intellectual sense, but
the thing is, because when you're strapped down and they're like got a Makita in your mouth, you can't do anything about it, so you're just like, well, fuck it.
Well, you can do something. You can be like, oh, guys, stop. That's fucking incredibly painful. But, with the, okay, so...
But short of pain, if it's
it's not painful because you're numb, but that's the point I was going to make. Because it's numbness, I can't feel how numb I am, so there's, like, I guess a feeling in the back of my mind, like, what if everything goes sweet, but then, like, it turns out it hasn't actually been numbed down to, like, as far as they're going, or someone in, like, a next pain. Like, again, intellectually, I know that's highly unlikely, but I guess the fact that they ask you to raise your hand if you, like, shows that there's, like, an outside chance. Because everyone responds to numbness different. It might take longer for some people.
See, that's why...
I've never been in pain at the dentist, though, but I've got a 100% track record of that.
But I'm almost at the thought where, like, you sit down, if they just went, alright, this is routine, it's not going to hurt, then you wouldn't be worried about it. Where they're like, if it does hurt, do this, like, maybe this will happen, then you start to get worried, oh shit, what if that happens to me? If you're like, nothing's ever gone wrong ever, this won't go wrong, you're like, sweet, get it over and done.
I'm sure something's gone wrong sometime, though.
I know, but what I'm saying is if they said that it hasn't, there's absolutely no chance anything will go wrong, you won't feel any pain, then you've got nothing to be anxious about.
Should they say that if that's not the case, though?
No, but it'll be easier.
But again, it probably is like 99% chance you're not going to be in pain. You know what I mean? Like, injecting someone's mouth is not that complicated of a process, I'm sure they know what they're doing. I had a friend tell me that his dentist was like, you know what, don't worry about the anaesthetic, just you'll be in more pain for a while, just get it over and done with.
Yeah, right.
And he was like, yeah, sweet. Like, I don't understand where the benefit in that is. Just because it's annoying to have your mouth numb afterward, like, that seems like a good trade-off, like, having mouth numb for a few hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it's slightly irritating, I guess, when you drink and drool, but it's not like,
I think it's half the fun.
I don't even mind having it in my mouth. It's kind of, it's kind of fun.
Something a bit different.
I didn't, like, I kind of questioned him. I could not really get a good reason. He's like, oh, well, you're just, like, well, whatever, like, just painful for a while. It's like, well, nice philosophy, but why don't you not be in pain for a while? Like, surely that's the better of those two options. It's bizarre. I'd love to meet the dentist and just find out what the rationale behind it was. Because I don't think they charge you extra for the injection.
No, they wouldn't. Yeah, that is strange. I'll be like, give me that and like another dose. I'll have it later on.
Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all
if any dentists are watching, let us know.
The percentage of people who like express some anxiety, kind of fear, while they're under. Not necessarily like, but like just visibly kind of shaking a little bit, tense.
Yep.
But that's what I'm like, and I just assumed everyone was like that. Unpleasant, surely. No.
People react to different things as well. If someone just hears the sound of that drill, then that can get them in another place. Sometimes it's the smell of the mouthwash or whatever. It just comes from somewhere else, but it's just something that you either feel comfortable with a certain sense or you get anxious about a certain sense. And sometimes it's around the dental practice. What is cool though is where they have those posters for the kids and there's like little teeth with capes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff's cool. It relaxes me. It's like, yeah, those teeth are having a good time.
So you used to like kind of conjuring and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so.
Let me run on to my movie review, because this is an unintended segue. But this week I'm reviewing it's Alice of Wonderland in Paris, but it comes from this.
This is out of left field.
Yeah, see this Alice's Greatest Adventures, which the main event on this is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, which is like the stock standard one that that everyone knows about, the Disney version. But instead of the Disney version, this was with Peter Sellers and Dudley Moore and Spike Milligan. So as a B-side of this DVD package was this Alice of Wonderland in Paris, which is a short little cartoon version of some of Lewis Carroll's other stories.
Oh, so it's a cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's totally low budget, and they just pulled these stories that didn't see the light of day and put them around this cartoon. So the basic premise is it's Alice after Wonderland, like the generic one, and it's after Looking Glass.
Really briefly, sorry to interject.
Yeah.
Why it's all cartoon?
No. So everything on here is about the first movie.
Live action kind of shot there. But yeah.
Yeah, but then I only just noticed this today when I was looking through that they included this second little feature on there.
Okay, so one is live action and one is animated.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
So this is you've seen the.
A long time ago,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've seen it.
So she follows the white rabbit and falls down the rabbit hole.
It's the cat.
Yeah. So this is it's after all that, and she sees this mouse, this French mouse called Francois.
French and a mouse. That's a double, ain't he?
Yep. And his whole thing is he's a cheese connoisseur.
Ah, as my son.
So he's like, Alice, if you tell me your favourite kind of cheese, I'll take you to Paris.
It's not even a challenge though. It's kind of like, not sure.
Yeah, this is a kids movie, and remember that the stories in this didn't get published until this for probably a reason.
Okay.
That it lives on paper, it lives great. Like a kid can enjoy these stories, but it doesn't necessarily transfer to a movie.
Okay.
So she's reading this book about a girl called Madeline who lives in Paris. So she's like, I've got to go to Paris. I want to meet this Madeline girl. So she jumps on the chance. This mouse goes, have this cheese. It's got a magic mushroom in it. It'll make you small, and then you can get on my bike.
He doesn't actually say it's got a magic mushroom in it.
Absolutely.
He actually says that. They overtly reference drama.
Yep. He goes.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay.
He says, take this cheese. It's got the magic mushroom that you took before to make you small. So she takes it. It goes on his bike, and the whole movie, the chunk of the movie is just them telling stories between each other. So there's 4 or 5 stories, and those stories were the original written little adventures that Lewis Carroll wrote.
Okay.
One of them it's actually a really nice story. It's called Many Moons. So it's about this princess who she's sick, and she says to her dad, the king, she goes, the only way I'm going to get better is if you get me the moon. So the king gets the court magician. He goes, how do I get the moon for my daughter? It's the only way she'll get better. He goes, oh, well, it's so far away, it's so big, like it's impossible to get. He goes, all right, and then he gets the court mathematician. He goes, how do you get the moon? He goes, oh, well, it's even further away, it's even bigger, it's impossible. And they go through a few people, and they keep saying it's further away and bigger. And then he gets the jester. He goes, well, it's easy to get the moon. If all these wise men are saying that it's whatever, they're wise, they must be right. And I think your daughter's wise as well, so let's ask her. So he goes to the daughter, to the princess. He goes, how far away do you think the moon is? And she says, well, I look out the window, it's like just on the tip of the tree out there, so it's about that high. He goes, how big do you think it is? And she says, well, it's about the size of my thumbnail. So he goes, right, I'll get the moon for you. So he goes, gets this little coin made about the size that she says, gives it to him and goes, there's the moon. She's like, oh, sweet. Then I'll wrap this up really quickly because I'm basically telling the whole story like anyone's going to watch this movie anyway. No spoilers yet. There's a main twist that I'll spoil at the end. But so then the king goes, the next night she's going to find out there's the moon in the sky. So it's going to blow everything. So gets all the people back in. The magician says, what we can do is put a big velvet curtain over the palace. She'll never see the moon. He goes, that's not going to work. The mathematician says, we'll put these dark sunglasses on so she won't see anything. That's not going to work. Goes to the jester and says, so if all these wise men had all these solutions, I think your daughter's wise, so let's ask her. Goes to the daughter and says, why is it that you have the moon around your, it's a pendant. He goes, why is it that you have the moon around your neck, but it's also outside? And she goes, well, it's obvious. When you take it out of the sky, a new one grows. So that's the way that she rationalised it, right? So, anyway, that's the end of that. But here's the spoiler. So when you see this, you can unlock. So, she finally gets to Paris. She meets Madeline. Madeline is reading a book about Alice.
Snap. Shit. It's meta. Was Madeline the...
So it's the grass is greener kind of thing.
Is Madeline also the private school girl, the Catholic school girl in like the French TV show? Madeline? I don't know.
I think it is something Madeline. Like, yeah. I know of it, but I haven't seen any of those. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's...
My little cousin used to watch it a while ago. I don't know.
But there you go.
I've got a feeling it might be Madeline.
It's good that that some of the stories, even if they're like shoddy, low budget cartoons on a B side of a $1 DVD somewhere, it's good that they'll capture in that way.
How good? How many John Stamos?
How many John Stamoses? I'm fairly certain to say not a lot of people will like this apart from myself.
Yeah, but how many John Stamoses do you give it?
Out of 10, I'll give it a 6.
Because of the way other people might enjoy it, or is 6 for you?
Oh, for me, I'll give it a higher score. But
so that's the score you should have.
Part of my score is how I'll recommend it, and I wouldn't really recommend it because people probably wouldn't enjoy it.
I probably wouldn't, yeah.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
But I'll give it my praise. So I hope you enjoyed another action-packed movie review there.
Yeah, so Alice in Wonderland. Good, okay.
There's 2 things we can talk about. First of all is something that I saw in the news, which is Starbucks paying for tuition for their staff members.
Oh, let's talk about that. That sounds nice of them.
Have you heard about this?
No, brand new to me.
So Starbucks, this huge conglomerate who have like a million, billion, trillion staff members who are...
Literally.
Yeah. Who are more than not young people of low education.
Yeah.
Usually young of age as well. So they've basically said as soon as you get hired for Starbucks, if you meet certain criteria, which is very much more loose than other companies that offer the same thing, they'll pay for their tuition. So their college or higher education.
See, college, that would cost a lot though in America. Like, how are they affording this?
Maybe
they must have ran at a loss.
Yeah, their whole concept is that well, the way they try to rationalise it is that it's getting brownie points for the brand. So even if they
very expensive brownie points.
Yeah, but if they sign up and they leave, they still pay for their tuition. But then they're like always, well, I'm indebted to Starbucks, so I'll keep buying my coffee there.
And when did they decide to do this?
It was news maybe 2 days ago.
How many fucking trim lattes do you need to buy until you've paid for a college education?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if somebody buys a coffee a day for the rest of their life, that's a lot more than the cost of getting a couple of textbooks.
A couple of textbooks, yeah, but the whole, I mean...
But it's not going to be like Harvard or whatever. It's probably like the equivalent of our TAFE or whatever.
That's what I was going to ask. So, like, if I look at Starbucks, I'm like, you know what? I want to be a brain surgeon.
They're probably for that.
Right, okay.
It's probably like, it's something, but it's like, it's a stepping stone to getting a certificate and using that for something.
Right.
But it's interesting that even if you're hired the first day, you get this tuition grant or whatever it's called, then you drop out of the job, they'll still support you.
Yeah, that is nice. It's nice of them. I mean,
it's something they didn't have to do.
That's my point, though. Almost a little bit too nice. What's your angle here, Starbucks? What are we gonna find out? How many dead bodies are you hiding
Might be something like that.
in a basement that you're trying to make us forget about through these good deeds?
But you do
investigate Starbucks.
You find that there are a lot of big companies that are just getting over like the money making machine. Yeah, and they're like, well, let's do some good. More and more are turning, like, especially when there's turnover, like, within the higher ranks, and then they get a good person in there, and they just, like...
I'm not even necessarily anti-corporate, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like the corporations. Well,
if they do good, like, just fucking go.
You know who's insufferable on Facebook? People who always, like... I post political opinions sometimes. The people who, every single one, is like, don't you ever fucking just have a really good sandwich you want to talk about?
Yep.
Ever? Wasn't there, like, a Game of Thrones episode you wanted to go, about, like...
Yep.
Again, people who only talk about TV, I'm almost guilty of that. I probably share too much TV opinions, but... Not necessarily politics, but just any, like, thing. If it's always... If you've got a baby, and it's always a picture of your baby, or a comment about your baby or your family... So that's great, I don't mind seeing it, but can you please switch it up a little bit? Because this is getting really repetitive.
Yeah. My view on that is I absolutely agree, but I think why people do that is that they're kind of safe. Like, if they keep posting baby photos, stop doing that shit. But just like, everything is about their baby or whatever. That's what people have, they've come to accept them as, or this person does this kind of content. So if they, I don't know, if they do something that's not within that vein, then they'll be judged on that. But if they're doing the same thing over and over again, there's almost no judgment because people are expecting the same thing.
Right.
And people just get comfortable in that. So it's like, well, that's where I fit into the scenario. I'll just keep doing this shit. People are just too scared to shake shit up, and I don't appreciate it. I know you don't either. So.
Yeah. It's not cool. Just cut it out, guys.
Do shit. Stuff might not work, but just fucking shake the fucking cage around.
Get on with it.
Get on with it. That's probably the best thing to do.
Take the numb shot to your mouth and just fucking don't be a bitch about it.
That's what she said. See, like, I could have held back on that joke.
Yeah.
I just went for it.
Right.
Okay.
Good.
So that's that. Starbucks this week's hit my kudos.
Let's really gonna have an impose, because do you watch the show Girls?
Girls?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Okay. Well, I don't watch it either. I know what it is, but no, you don't. It shouldn't really be on your radar, I guess. It's more like a kind of sort of feminist like it. I think the progressives like it too. I've got one male friend who watches it.
So at the moment, there's a show called Mum, there's a show called Dad, and there's a show called Girls.
Right. Well, apparently Girls had a cum shot. So I was just having a post and say, God, like, about that cum shot in Girls. And I knew that, like, Girls were quite graphic, but I'm like, seriously? Like, a non-porno thing had, like, a money shot?
What kind of show? Like, Sex and the City kind of show? Or?
Yeah, sort of Sex and the City for, like, feminist hipsters.
So it's Sex in the Avenue?
Yeah, sex in Greenwich Village, like, kind of thing. I don't know. I guess Greenwich Village is New York City, but you get what I mean. I don't know if they're in Greenwich Village. They might be in Ohio, for I fucking know. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know why I brought it up. I was just sort of like, as a headline I saw, I'm like, wow, I've heard there was nudity in it, but I didn't know they were doing cum shots.
Did you see it?
No, I might look it up now.
So, not right now.
No, but I'm going to get home to see what it's all about.
Yeah. Maybe it was a little hype engine. I don't know. Can I just say, I'm not a fan of the Mum or Dad show.
The Mum or Dad show? I don't know. I hadn't heard of those.
One of them is the Family Guy people.
Oh, okay.
And
God, he's got a lot of projects.
Yeah, and the other one's the Big Bang Theory people.
Right. Fuck Big Bang. I haven't really seen Big Bang, but I still know it's shit. It's one of those ones like, oh, don't judge it before you watch it. No, I can judge it before I watch it.
I don't mind
but,
it. I'll put it there.
Well, if you want to watch Big Bang Theory, just stop and watch Silicon Valley instead.
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
Silicon Valley's great.
I'm too busy watching these fucking B-grade cartoons.
They had an amazing dick joke this week.
Oh yeah? I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah.
What was amazing about this joke?
So, I mean, again, you can watch it on YouTube, and watching the clip would be far funnier than me telling you about it, but essentially, you know how in movies often when there's like a dilemma or whatever, like, people be arguing and someone will be like, oh my god, wait, guys, and then like, you know, starts like, you know, fucking writing diagrams and shit, and everyone's like, da-da-da, and like, they start brainstorming, and
yeah.
So the setup is that they've got this big convention tomorrow, this big tech convention, and they've found out that this other company has a huge advantage over them, and they've got only one night, and like, the other company does everything their thing does, plus more. And like the main, like the leader guy, not the brains, but the sort of like businessman of the group.
Yep.
It's like, look, guys, all right, I've done fucking everything to get us to this point, so we're going to win that competition tomorrow, even if it means I need to jerk off every single guy in that audience. And then like one of the guys like, well, there's like going to be 800 dudes there, so that's a lot of jerking you need to do. And then like one guy's like, wait, if he did like both in and out, like from this angle, couldn't he like manage to jerk off 4 guys? Like, how do you do 4 guys? Like, he's only got 2 hands. Like, yes, but if we get them in arranged to height, then we can do it inside out. And then like the music starts to play and they start like drawing up shit, and then like the guy they're talking about starts getting in and out. He's like, but what if the girth was like that? And so it's this big, long, complicated. And actually, that's another really funny thing. They actually, after the show came out, I guess to kind of promote it or whatever, they actually did make like a 25-page document that does actually have diagrams and like little algorithms and everything about how to stimulate like the most amount of men the most efficiently through completion within a limited time frame.
I think I'll stick to Big Bang Theory. Each to his own. There's nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, check out Silicon Valley. I'm sorry I gave away one of the best gags of the season, but there are a lot of great gags in there too, so it's good. It's quite low energy this week, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. We don't have to be like chirpy every time.
There is another story which might warrant a different amount of energy. If only I could tell you what it was, but your arm is covering the sheet. Yeah, this is something. So we've been talking about gun control and shootings and mass shootings and what have you. All the stuff that's not cool. This week, a gun might have saved a mass shooting.
Oh my God, Kevin, tell us more.
So,
as you just went right out.
One dude had a gun. He divorced his wife. I think the order was probably the other way around. So, let's start again. The dude had a wife. He divorced her. There was a high school reunion and his ex-wife was with a new dude and he's like, nah, that ain't fine. So he gets a gun.
Yeah, okay.
Goes into the diner or whatever and shoots his ex-wife and shoots the dude.
Okay.
Then this off-duty FBI agent who was armed, he's like, oh no, he's going to shoot every motherfucker. So he pulls out his piece of bam, kills the gunman.
Right.
So then people are praising this guy saying, oh,
could have been more.
Yeah.
Would there have been more? Did he kill his wife and did he kill the...
Well, that's the thing. His plan was to kill these 2 people and he did. So he wouldn't have killed anybody else.
Like, there was no... there wasn't necessarily any cause to believe he would go... So he did kill them. Like, he got them from the bang they did.
Right. So in the end, the 3 people who could have just been like,
did the FBI agent kill the guy? Okay, well, so at least we don't have to spend money on like a trial. He already did.
True.
So that saved resources.
Yeah.
I guess now there's no arguments for gun control.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Because just as likely that this dude killed 2 people and that was it. Just as likely was that he's mad enough to do that, so he would have killed like everybody else just for the sake of it.
Oh, he didn't. So they were guns because they were guns.
Yeah. So potentially this one gun saved like 20 lives.
And like, if you look at the guy in Santa Monica, like, he killed all those people, but...
none of them had a gun to kill him first.
And at the end, he shot himself and killed himself.
So the gun saved that situation.
Yes, because if it weren't for that gun, he'd still be alive.
That's right.
And God knows he liked shooting people.
Yep.
So if he didn't have that gun, he wouldn't have been able to kill himself.
Yep.
And so he would have been able to go for longer.
So it's
ironclad.
Yep.
There's no.
It's a necessary part.
That's a foolproof argument. You can't.
Either
you can't poke any holes in that.
No, you can't.
No, you'd need a knife.
And then if you had an
But so I think that's really the end of the gun control debate. I don't think we're going to be seeing anything about that in the future now that FIAWGs.
So if anyone, if Barack or anybody's watching, we've laid it out for you there.
You don't need to worry about those laws.
No.
You don't need to worry about any more congressional action. We've cracked it.
Fine.
Should be left as they are, because
if
they move on, it would be worse.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah. So, I don't think that this episode has been our best so far, but at least we've ended up solving...
We solved world problems right now.
Yeah, which is definitely a positive outcome.
Yep. And not only that, we're happy to share it.
Yeah.
Free of charge. You're getting this information free of charge.
You're welcome.
Well, I don't do it for the thanks.
You're welcome.
They have been good. 55 odd minutes.
Yeah.
Must be full by now.
We've got 5 to go. Well, we're going to do the intro, so the intro always adds like a minute. Do you reckon we can stretch Done and Dusted out 4 or 5 minutes? And then we should try and delay stall for time a bit more.
I'm happy with our quality, not quantity this week.
So it could be a bit under an hour if we want. Okay, I like that attitude.
Leave them needing more.
Okay.
So next week we'll do a 20-minute episode.
Yeah, alright.
So this week on our recurring segment, which is...
It's old. Stupid. It's no longer relevant. It's dumb and dusted.
Wow, what an amazing animation,
Yep.
as per usual. So, welcome to Dumb and Dusted, where we look at something that is
from
old.
yesteryear.
Yeah, and that
Doesn't
belongs
belong
there.
now.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't need to go forward.
Dumb and Dusted. It's not useful.
Leave it back there.
So
This week,
okay. So this is almost a little bit of a kind of flashback in a sense, because a few weeks ago we did pocket watches.
yes,
And this week we're going to do another time-telling device.
Calendar.
Sundials.
Sundial.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree.
So they're pretty stupid.
Yep.
First of all, I don't know how accurate they are. Even assuming they're fully accurate, what about if it's overcast?
Yep. Or nighttime.
Yeah, it's like,
Or indoor.
is it 10 p.m. or is it 11:30? I can't tell.
Yep.
Because sundials are stupid.
They are very inaccurate.
And you can't have a sundial on your wrist, can you?
You can, but it'll be useless.
If you're a character in the Flintstones.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
that's the only reason why.
Yeah.
Okay, you're watching you're inside watching TV,
Mhm.
and you need to know when the next show's on. How are you going to check the time?
You got to walk outside. Or let's say it's like, you're getting ready to go to the airport, and you know how you have to leave at, like, say, I don't know, 7:15 a.m. And you're like, okay, what time is it? So you walk down to the town sundial. It takes you half an hour to get there.
Yep.
You get there, and it's like, oh shit, it's 7:15 now. But I have to walk home half an hour, and I'll make the flight.
Or you got to get there 5:15 in the morning, and by that time there's no sun.
Yeah, and then,
Then by the time you wait for the sun, it's 7:15, and you miss the 5:15.
and to get up, you set your alarm clock, and then you wake up, and you're like, oh, can I go to sundial? Like, wait, hold on, I have an alarm clock, but I need to go to sundial.
Yep.
Oh, I just wasted all that money.
And you can't fit an alarm clock onto a sundial. So the most beneficial...
Yeah, because the alarm clock doesn't know when the shade's got into... You can't detect that.
No.
Even with today's technology, we can't integrate a sundial to an alarm.
No. You probably could.
Well, you
But
could
the
hire...
fact is they didn't.
You could hire someone to look at the sundial, and then when the sundial reached the point they'd run over you, that you could do that kind of thing, but you got to hire the guy, and
And I don't think
he's
they
not gonna
did.
work for
So
you.
for the time when they were around, they were popular. That wasn't a function. So
And there are some cities that still have like a town sundial as like
Yeah.
kind of like an heirloom.
yeah,
No,
fuck it all.
just get rid
Put a
of it.
basketball court there instead.
No one's using that.
Give
Yeah.
the kids some swings.
Turn it into one of those like water fountains.
Yeah,
Like, 'cause
definitely.
People can get hydrated that way.
Yeah.
Good old H2O.
Thanks for our. This week we're sponsored by Sydney Waters.
It is actually. That's quite good. I think bottled water is a bunch of BS, but I've got to be
This
honest.
is actually
that,
bottled water.
That does taste like.
This is bottled water.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like, even though I think generally it's a bunch of BS, that does. I mean,
It's delicious. I won't drink anything but.
it's very clean.
Yeah.
I think I could get them in the blind tasting because I saw Penn and Teller's bullshit. They were saying you can't blind taste what water you want and get it. I reckon I could get tap one next to that and know which one was different. But we can only next week. Let's do that.
Let's do the whole thing on water.
I'll do a blind tasting. I'll see if I can get the bottom one.
You definitely would. Yeah.
We'll do 3 rounds, so I will know if I got it or not.
Yep. I'll leave my thoughts until next week, and we should probably leave this episode until next week. We thank you for your patronage, and until next week, we urge you to take it easy
and keep it clean.